Christmas time, and it was just a treat.
Oh no, we're gonna figure it out.
No, because it's working.
Okay, perfect. And I have it on actually up on my computer
And now we're
upstairs.
on.
Hey.
Okay.
I'll still have it on my computer just to make sure things are.
It's in the
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yes, and I hear that they, like this last one, I taught a messenger bag, I taught 2 classes last week. I didn't even see it advertised. I mean, it was just, I'm thinking, oh, I think she must have forgotten to put them on. And then I looked for it specifically and they were already full.
Yes. Okay.
So I see people say that, it's hard to get to it. So,
I'll save it because I'm.
Yes, and then there's a
Yes,
waiting
please
list,
subscribe to it.
and,
I did.
and often, like, you'll find this today, people sign up and then they don't show up. Yeah.
That's the bummer about it being, it's a good thing that it's free, but that's the bummer about it being free, because
Right.
then it's too easy to be like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, I'm
It's
told
just
how it
how it
works now, but it's like.
Oh, and it's gonna be fun, because we're gonna eat, and you guys are gonna help cook, and.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I like
this is interactive.
Oh,
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah. If you want, it's optional. But, yeah, that's the fun bit, but. Well,
So-
we'll give folks, it's only 1:59, so we'll give folks maybe just 2 more minutes. Because I know there's at least a group of 6 on the way.
So you know, for as far as the brochures, you
Okay.
and well, when they post it, it's on Facebook. I mean, that's usually where I, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but you have to, you have to follow it, you have to keep looking for it, and I never know, I mean, I tell her when I'm gonna do it, and then she posts it, but I don't know when she posts it, or, it's all.
It's on there.
Yeah, that's the last one we just did.
was a freshman last year.
Yeah, that was the one I wanted to
Oh,
take
really?
back.
So his sister goes, well, you can learn it on him. So I said, okay, I'm teaching so this is for them. What's the name?
James.
James said, oh, there's a sewing. There's always sewing machines. Oh, great, great. We can sew together.
Well, actually, the next one I'm planning is like an adult child, Father's Day apron.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I haven't put the dates out yet. I'm still looking for simple pattern. I mean, they're out there, but I was looking for free ones, that, and I did download one, and I can't get it to show up on my phone correctly. So, yes, but usually you end up, like, sometimes you pay for it. Yeah, and I think that maybe is where I found one, and it is supposed to just download to my email, and it did, but then when I went to click on the link, it didn't show the pattern, so that happens a lot.
A little colder than it was yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, well, it is 2:01, so let's get started. Can I scoot you? Let's walk back a little bit. So we can be, actually, we'll go behind so that we can be in the lens.
Okay.
All right. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Kelly. I am the founder of G's Italian Kitchen, and this is Nana or MJ, my mom. So kind of how this all got started, right, at some point. My daughter is Gia, so that is how I named it, because Kelly is Irish because my dad was Irish, and that doesn't sound like a really an Italian name for my business. So Gia's Italian Kitchen. So this is super exciting. So this is our first weekend at the new Marion Library. So if you've not had a chance to walk around, this place is unbelievable. And in your packet, there is oodles and oodles of good information, one of which is a page that describes the Marion Library. And it has a QR code to get to their event page so that you can find more events like this, or if there's a sewing class or whatnot. There's ton of programming that I believe is mostly or all free. So definitely spread the word about this beautiful building. But we will be in here approximately one weekend of a month doing these cooking classes.
Oh, cool.
So this is our first weekend. We did one on Thursday night, and then Mother's Day. So so glad you guys could join us for our first weekend here. So this kitchen is like ridiculous amazing. It is so beautiful. So in your packets, we've got the recipes. We're gonna make 2 dishes today. We're making 2 appetizers. The first one is a caprese, a baked caprese. So it's my little twist on a caprese where we're going to actually bake the grape tomatoes and then put it together with some goat cheese and fresh basil instead of pesto. So it's gonna be a little bit different, but it is delicious. Then the second dish we're gonna make is this orange salad that has pickled red onions and the fresh basil. So we're using basil in both of our appetizers today. This one, you probably are thinking, that doesn't sound very good, but you wait. It is delicious. It's surprising. It's very delicious. So in your packet, you've got the recipes for those. So you'll take those packets home with you. So if you want to recreate these, you can. In addition, there's a grocery list. So that's like a nice, easy way, 1-pager to buy the ingredients. In addition, obviously, there's a lot of information about Jesus Italian Kitchen that you can look us up, all of our socials and our website. But also, if you flip your packet all the way over to the back side, if you have a sticker, could you raise your hand? 1, 2. Okay. Jeremy, could you do me a favor? Look at the packets in the back. Let's find.
There is.
We need. There's 4 stickers. Okay, so we found 2. Because if you have a sticker,
If you find the sticker, you can keep it.
well, you can keep it. Yes, keep the sticker. But that means you're chosen to come up and help cook if you want. So it's you plus a friend or a relative. So if you want to do that, you can. If not, pass your sticker to your neighbor. Okay, so we're gonna start right into this with helpers. So raise your hand again. Who got stickers? Okay, so you were the first 2. Do you guys want to help? Okay, let's go. Come on up. If you'd like to bring a friend or relative or your neighbor, bring whoever, because we are gonna make this completely interactive. You guys are gonna help make these dishes, and I'm going to kind of instruct. So if you'd like to put on an apron, you may.
So we'll start with 2 and
There you
then
go.
we'll switch.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna
switch
do 4
for
and
the
4.
other 2.
Yep, okay. Yeah.
We'll also have a chance.
Okay, we do need 4 people. Is there someone else? Do you want to come help? Anyone want to come help? Okay, come on up.
You do 4 and
Yeah.
I don't want white.
You want some help?
If you lift it up a
Lift
little
it up.
bit and then tie it in the back. There you go.
Lift it up like this.
Okay, so what we're gonna start with is
There you go.
we're gonna bake the tomatoes and we need to pickle the red onions. So we're gonna start with those. So we're kind of gonna do both appetizers at the same time so that we can finish and eat them together. Just a heads up, we do have these tripods right behind you, so try not to bump into those, please. Okay, so who wants to cut onions? We need 2 people cutting onions, and then we need 2 people doing tomatoes. Who wants to do?
I'll do the onions.
Okay, so why don't you guys come over here? Yeah. So you're each, yes. There's hand washing sink behind, so why don't you guys do that? And then head over here.
Oh. John does everything. Yes, he does.
And then there's some towels or paper towels, whatever you need.
Kelly, you make limoncello? Do you make your own limoncello?
I do. Is that one of the, yeah, that's one of the stickers, yes. The limoncello is delicious.
So how do you make yours?
What's surprising about mine is there's no lemon juice in it.
What?
It's only lemon peels.
Lemon peels, and then what type of alcohol do you use?
I use, hold your breath, I use Everclear. Instead of vodka or, whatever other spirit you want, because the higher alcohol content actually draws more of the lemon out of the peel, and you have a tastier limoncello. So that's why I use Everclear. And then
Sugar in it as well?
oh yeah, you put sugar in it. I put a cinnamon stick in it. And then it has to kind of do its thing, in the closet for a month. Not in the refrigerator and like steep.
So it needs to be in a dark room temperature space.
Or like in the basement or something in a, sealed glass jar. And so I always do that somewhere before Thanksgiving so that we have it for Christmas or for gifts.
Like do a sieve or something to get the peel out, like?
Yeah, you need a really fine strainer to, so you don't get all the,
To get the peel out?
yeah, it's yummy. We can
Yeah.
make it sometime.
I think
Okay, so
Yeah.
we've got 2 onions for each of you. And what we're gonna do is, this is not too bad of a chopping job, because we're not gonna dice them, so that's the good thing. So this will be our compost garbage bowl. I don't know if they compost here, but we'll pretend it's a compost bowl. Then we're gonna cut this in half, and watch your fingers. Take the peel off, and then we're just gonna cut real thin down here, so we've got all these little half moons, and you don't need to chop it any finer than that. We're gonna do half moons, and then we're gonna throw them in here to get them pickled. So that is all for you guys. So I'll give you this station, I'll give you this station, and
And if you'd rather use a big chop.
yeah, you can use the big butcher knife if you want.
Yeah, that's, I'd
But
rather.
some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the tomatoes, we're gonna roast them at 425, so I'm gonna get this oven going. And we're gonna roast them for about 18 minutes. We wanna get those in right away. So for the tomatoes, we're gonna give you guys this big tray, and you're gonna dump both of those tomatoes on there. Let me get the bread out of your way. You don't need these like that. Okay. Mom, can I give you these? Oh, did you? Okay. So we're gonna dump the tomatoes on there.
No, it's past, yeah.
We'll oil them and then we'll just kind of shake the tray,
Okay.
which is really the easiest way to get those all mixed up. And then in the pickled onions, we're gonna put rice wine vinegar and white pepper. So white pepper is a little milder than black pepper. You probably won't notice the difference, but if I use black pepper, you would notice the harshness from the black pepper. Okay, so we'll take those. I'll take those for you. Okay, so what you're gonna do is drizzle some olive oil on those. And you can be relatively generous. You can be a little more generous.
More generous. All right.
No, we're gonna.
You're awesome. And then we're gonna kind of give it a shake,
We're gonna switch.
and then they're all.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so then in front of you we have garlic powder, black pepper, and sea salt. So we're gonna give those a nice shake. Awesome. Perfect. More? No, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Because we also are gonna have some raw garlic. That one of my other tricks that I love to do with this baked caprese is we're gonna take the toast, the baguettes, and toast those, and then we're gonna scrape the raw garlic from the toast before we assemble the caprese, and it takes this to another level. To have that just one little step on the toast, it is awesome.
So these aren't going to make your eyes water, hopefully.
And if your eyes do start to
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
just go run your hands under the water, and it will take some of the oils off and help you get off that. So, questions so far on what we're doing, where we're going?
Do you have a brand of olive oil that you like better than others? Because I know some of them are, they say that some of them are mixed with other oils instead of being.
Oh, I switched the
extra
on you?
That's a great question.
Easier.
I have a favorite brand that's called Milwaukee, but you can't get it at Hy-Vee. But what is the most important piece about the olive oil is not necessarily the brand, it's how it's made.
Right.
So there's, the best olive oils are gonna be from the Mediterranean, so Greece, Spain, Italy. But the most important piece is that it says first cold pressed. If it doesn't say first cold pressed, it's probably been heated, it's probably got crap added to it, and it's a lesser quality. The other thing is, obviously, in my opinion, extra virgin olive oil. You don't want robust and light and all these other adjectives in front, because again, that means it's either repeated or stuff has been added to it. So extra virgin olive oil, first cold pressed.
So cold press means it's the process, it has to have the word first also.
Yeah, because what that means is that they've taken the olives off the tree, and within, like for Italy, I think it's within 48 or 72 hours, they're putting it in their presses. And so it hasn't been exposed to any heat. They're putting the seeds. I mean, and it's surprising when you see it. They put the seeds in, they put the stems in, all of that stuff goes in the press, and then it gets strained out, obviously.
Right.
But all of that goes in to make a real, genuine, good olive
And
oil.
can you get the weird ID, like a first cold press other brands?
You just have to sit there and read it.
You just have to read the label. You know, like anything. You're turning to look at the nutritional label. If you can't pronounce stuff in the ingredients list, right? Isn't that kind of the guideline? Like, don't buy it.
And I've noticed now they say this is, made with bioengineered food. And that one kind of scares me.
Doesn't it? Right?
Why?
Right.
Why?
So there are definitely brands at Hy-Vee, Trader Joe's that have the first cold press in there. Some of them have, depending on if they're imported or distributed wherever, on the back, like the Jalopy has. Actually, I should post a picture of that. I don't think I did. It has an acidity level on the Jalopy because that one is an imported
Can I take a
brand.
picture of that bottle?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can come up. The acidity level is 0.8, and if it is greater than that, that means that the olives are, think of like a grape, right? The best grapes make the best wine. Same thing, the best olives make the best olive oil. And if the acidity level is over the 0.8, which is the Italian measurement or requirement, you can't say it's extra virgin olive oil from it. But the Americans, yeah, they don't hold to that. So a lot of the brands that you're going to see you're not going to find that number on the back. That's why the first cold pressed, if you find that on it, you should, and the verbiage of the extra virgin, you should be good. So, okay.
Also,
I bet you're done.
one of the interesting things about
Okay,
olive
so let's
oil,
get these in the oven.
most of it, in Italy, you would think they have a lot of olive oil, or olives. When you have dinner in Italy, they don't serve you olives at the table, because all of their olive trees, they use to make olive oil. They don't use it for you to eat the olives.
Those come
We're
from
so used to
Spain.
having
Yeah.
olives on the table, or you get Kalamata olives or whatever.
Relishes,
Yeah,
relish
and they
tray,
don't do
rubber
that
tin.
in Italy, because all of their olive trees are used to make oil, which I didn't know until we were.
Most
So
of
who put
it.
the
Most
olives in
of
the
them, yeah.
martini? The Americans?
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, they have olives. You eat olives, but those are from Spain.
they're from Spain.
The ones
They're
when
not
you're there, the ones you're
usually
eating are not from usually
from Italy.
not from Italy. Okay, next we need to pickle these. So what we're gonna do is, onion folks, we're gonna pour that whole bottle of rice wine vinegar in it, and then we're gonna put about a tablespoon of the white pepper. Yep. And then we've got some tongs. and
The
you're
whole
gonna-
bottle, right?
The whole bottle. You're gonna give that. We're gonna just use this because I don't know where they are. So this is a teaspoon. I would do 2 of those of the white pepper, and then we'll give those a toss.
Do they recycle this?
We'll take it home.
We do, there is recycled bins around, I know, in the sewing room we have.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just take it home. Yep, perfect. Yep, just dump that in, and then you're gonna give it a big toss with your tongs.
You're using an actual spoon, not a measuring.
You know what? When you're not baking, you can kind of wing it, right? When you're baking, it's like this whole
Baking,
chemical
yeah.
reaction, and
Cookies and cakes,
that's
you
why I
have
don't bake.
precise.
I make some things, and it's tough because I have to be very exact because I don't want to be exact.
And
I'm
I
the
didn't
same way, I
bake
just like
much.
to shake.
Yeah,
Pour.
and Kelly's grandmother didn't bake much. We love
Yeah.
to eat, we love to cook,
Made it.
but we don't bake, we're not bakers. Very few
People
things.
ask me that all the time. They're like, "What desserts did your mom make?" I'm like, "None, not a lot."
I think I made Rice Krispie treats once.
Yeah. Okay, so tomatoes.
Birthday cakes.
Let's get going on the bread. That is the next thing that we are going to cook. So, actually, okay. So we'll give each of you a board and each of you a bread knife. And what you guys are gonna do is we're gonna cut these. Basically think, you know, a bite, right? We're making an appetizer. So we're gonna cut the heel off because we don't want that for this. And then we're gonna slice these about a 1/4 inch. So we don't want them real thick because we want these to be, we wanna taste our toppings. And then we're gonna cut them on an angle just to make them a little prettier. And that's it. So then I will get you another tray and we will put those.
How did you do that cut to make it pretty?
I just did it on a diagonal.
So instead of straight?
Yeah. And I cut off the heel so that we can start that angle. So then you just put them right on here.
All right.
And we're gonna toast those in a little bit. Okay, next. So if you would like to take a seat, we're gonna get a couple more folks up here. So who else has a sticker or wants to, you know what, keep those because we can come up, we'll come back up if you guys want later, yeah. So if there's 2 more that wanna come up.
Yeah.
Nice. What a great Mother's Day. You don't have to, but it would probably save your
Oh, they
health.
got the yeah.
And then Claire, throw your hair like in your sweatshirt.
Not me.
Okay, so you guys want to cut the oranges? Does that sound? Okay, so we've got all these navel oranges. Now, a lot of times I like to use blood oranges because they're just delicious, they're beautiful, but they're kind of hard to find in Iowa sometimes, so I couldn't find them. Yeah, certain times, so we're using navel oranges. So we're just gonna peel these for first round, and then we're gonna slice them to make our pretty little salad. Yeah, probably should. You know what? They can be ugly. It's okay.
Where'd you get your basil?
So the basil is just from Hy-Vee,
Oh, is it?
but I get it either in the vegetable section, you know, where like the refrigerator, like by the cucumbers, they have those plants. That's usually what I buy to plant my garden outside because they're awesome plants. They didn't have any yesterday, so these are but they're from their garden center. So I will plant these also.
Oh, they're big.
They're awesome, but I don't like starting with seeds because I'm too impatient. I like to plant these, get them going, because by, end of July, early August, you don't want these to die and burn. So that's not a whole lot of time. And when I plant my basil, they end up being like this small. And then I make a ton of pesto. So I want the big plants. So these are great starter plants. There's 6 of them. What we're gonna do is take like the big leaves, because we're gonna use these for both appetizers. Okay, so you guys need to peel them first. So both of you get going. You're each gonna have your own station. So you can both be working at the same time. So just throw all the peels in here, and then we'll go to phase 2 when you're done peeling them.
If you roll those oranges on the table, they'll peel a little easier.
We should have brought our
Good
parent chef Lynch peelers that we have.
Yeah.
If you push a little bit, it kind of loosens it up. Yeah.
So when you plant your basil, like, do you pinch the tops or if it starts to flower, what do you do?
Absolutely. And these kind of they'll get white, so
yeah.
you'll see them. These are very small, but they're starting to flower. You definitely want to clip those off or rip them off, because then they're going to take the nutrients from the leaves, right? And you definitely want the nutrients to go to the plants. But we have 6 of these, so 6 of you get to take a basil plant home. So if you want a basil plant, these are your gifts for today. We're going to take the big leaves off to make the appetizers, leave the little ones on so that you can go home and plant it and hopefully, I mean, they should be fine and they should
I'm
regenerate.
just gonna come to your house and get some pesto.
Well, you know, we could make pesto in a later session, you know, later in the year, if folks are interested in that. Okay, Leah, you gotta move a little faster, girl.
You're so funny.
Just dig in there. You probably need to. Because look at all those oranges. Just get your hands dirty. You're gonna get juicy. Get juicy. Just rip them off. It doesn't have to be super pretty.
So where do you live?
I'm in Cedar Rapids.
Oh, you are, okay.
I don't have a storefront because I don't run a restaurant. I do cooking instruction. So as one of the pages in your packet, it kind of describes the two offerings that I have.
What about doing that? You said you don't want a storefront because you don't have a restaurant. Couldn't you just do a standalone Italian grocery store? I mean, not couldn't you, but why?
That is one of the things up in my head. Yes.
In your head's okay.
But I really
Because
don't want a
We
restaurant.
don't have one here in Cedar Rapids.
I know we don't. We don't have a good store.
We've talked about that a lot. Whenever I come to visit, because I live in Des Moines, I always go to
That's what
Graziano's.
we're gonna do.
This is where I come.
And you know how
Or I
that
text
we don't
her
want to
and say,
cut that way
"Kelly,
because
would
we
you want
don't
me to
want it
bring
like in one slice
Graziano's?"
like you're just gonna eat it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna turn it this way
Yeah, no.
so that the opening
Or
on the
when she
side,
comes to my house, it's always,
because then
we always have
Oh.
something to
it stays together and we get these nice slices. Okay. So I can help you with that. Let me get another tray.
Well, I've been wanting to go there.
Yeah, that
They-
would be cool.
that has been open
You could do
for
your cooking class.
years and years there.
Well, I would. yes. I can't say anything. Yes. I really would love to figure that out. You know, I'm going to take this and you can work over that. I'm going to cut these up. So I'm going to cut these up. You know how if you peel the orange, you've got little slivers. We don't want to cut that way because then this is all going to fall apart. So we're going to start it on its side, and I'm going to cut them this way so that we have rounds and they stay together. And since we're at the library, we don't have like China serving platters, so this is our serving platter, and I'm just going to arrange these. So the first layer of this, we're putting all the oranges, and then we will add as we. Well, we don't want the bread in yet. Okay, so I think we put that in maybe 10 minutes ago. Could someone, who has a phone with a timer? Everybody. Who wants to be my timer? Gentleman in the back. Can you give me a timer for 10 minutes and then we'll check the tomatoes? Thank you. Yeah, because we could do these. We could have a little deli counter. We could have a little grocery store. But then my husband is like, you would just eat everything. He's like, that's a terrible business model. No, it would be a fabulous business
You know
model.
what? You can cut that off. Just cut that end off. You need another.
Okay, so the two offerings that are in the packet on the what's next page, probably about, I think it's opposite of the Marion Library page, is a private group class. So I do private dinner parties where I come to your house or to wherever, and you pick your own menu, and we kind of do this with your guests and have a beautiful dinner party. So of a menu that you get to select. So that's really fun, and I can do those virtually as well. Where maybe you've got friends in Florida or whatever that you want to zoom in. We could do those hybrid as well, or all hybrid. It's so that's really fun. If you have like a girlfriend get together, the virtual ones are fun. And then the other thing is team building events. So with your employers, doing a cooking demonstration, again, in person, hybrid, virtual, is really fun to do a cooking class for a team building event. So I've done those for 10 people. I've done those for actually 200. We did one. So those are fun options. So keep that in mind if you are looking for something new at your place of work or wherever. They're super fun. And usually we do, for those corporate ones, or the business ones, especially if they're larger groups. The appetizers work better because kind of the gist is for people to be chatting, right, and team building and getting to know each other, getting to hang out outside of work. So doing a full dinner is a little more intense, right? So doing the appetizers works out better for those larger groups. Okay, you guys, you bread folks. Why don't you guys take a seat? If you want to keep your aprons on, you can for now, so that if when we come back up to eat, you will have those on. Okay, next two. Who wants to come up? I need two more people. And the next two people are going to be cutting basil. So you're going to smell great. Okay, let's get that little cutting board and this little cutting board. Yeah, wash your hands. Okay. So we're going to cut pretty much. We're going to use all those plants.
Can you reach over here to show you them?
Put your Marion Library apron on. Okay, we're done with the white pepper.
I'm gonna go get another, one more. You want me to layer these or just?
Yeah, you can layer them a little bit, maybe stagger them. I'm just gonna give this a stir. So these are,
I have to put my hair in my sweatshirt, but he doesn't.
yeah. You want to keep giving these a stir. You could use more, really, of the rice wine vinegar if you wanted, because we want these to soften up, and that vinegar and the black or the white pepper is going to take a little bit of that sharpness away. Okay, so what you guys are going to do, we're going to keep these in the tissue so that we don't get any dirt on the island, and we're going to take the large leaves off. So I'm just going to take two to show you guys what we're going to do. And you can do this with like 10. You can stack them up. And kind of make, kind of nest them in and roll it a little bit. And then when you slice is how you get the julienne slices of basil. So they're just pretty that way. But you can butcher them if you want. It doesn't totally matter what they look like, but it's just a pretty way to do that. So we're going to try to use just the big leaves, and then we're going to see how much basil we have, so that we can try to keep those plants alive if you guys want to take them home. Okay, timer on my bread. How are we doing?
So that doesn't hurt the plant
Sir?
then? To pull these
4
leaves
minutes.
off?
Okay, I'm
That
sorry.
doesn't hurt the plant to pull these leaves off?
No, the exact stem that you took the leaf off might not make another leaf, but the plant's not going to die, and it should stay alive and keep making basil.
Big pocket of large ones.
How are the oranges coming, girls?
This one is at least 10 there.
You know what? That's okay. Just put it in the scrap bowl. If it's not going to work, that's okay.
Yeah.
Looks like we have a full tray over there.
This one looks
All right. So what we're going to do with the oranges next is put some sea salt on them. Just a little bit, because it's also going, I know it's gonna, but it's gonna counter that orange flavor. So I'm gonna give the oranges a little bit of a shake.
So what, say again, what does the salt do?
So it really just, it's gonna bring out the citrus flavor,
Oh, okay.
and obviously counter it a little bit with the salt, but it really does bring it out, and it's a weird combo, but it works, yeah. So I'm just giving, not too much. Okay, you guys done?
Just about.
Awesome. All right.
You want us to set it in or just leave it on there?
Yeah, let me get a little bit. And then girls, when you're done with the oranges, I think you're done for now. So we'll put the basil in there, and then when you guys get done, we'll see how much you get. Okay, I'm gonna peek at the tomatoes. Nice. Are we at almost time? 3? 2, okay, okay, we'll give the 2 minutes. They're starting to turn light brown, which is what we want, and they're kind of starting to explode a little bit, which we want to get the juices out. There's another one here. Oh, okay. We're going to put in the garbage, yeah, because they don't feel bad. How's it going? Okay, let me bring this closer, and then you can just kind of put them right on there and stack them up.
Julienne slices.
Oh, I put it in the sink.
It's just the style.
Okay. Very good. So did mom have to coerce you guys to come?
She did sign us up.
It was a surprise.
It just said, you're coming. Yeah. Okay, let's check the basil. Nice. I would keep going, to be honest, because we're gonna use this, in both of the recipes. So I'm gonna put these basil. See, there's a lot on there still left, so you definitely should be able to provide these. I'll put these right here, and if you would like to take one home, they're all up for grabs.
So they're gonna have you here with some girls? Is that what you said?
I'm gonna skip June, and I'm gonna skip August, because I think people are just busy with graduations and going back to school and whatnot. But we'll do one in July, and then for sure September, October, and then I also need to work in with the programming of the other schedules for the library. But my intent is to do like a Thursday and then either a Saturday or Sunday combo. Pick one that works for you. Figuring that some weeknights work better for some people, sometimes the weekends. Thank you. Yeah, time. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're gonna take these out. And I'll show you these. They're looking pruny and squishy and explosive a little bit, which is exactly, in the light brown, so that's exactly what we want. You guys like tomatoes?
You're gonna love these though. Even though you don't like tomatoes, you like the kind of.
Are you gonna try them?
Yes.
Or maybe try the app without the tomatoes? You could keep them on if you want. Okay, so I'm gonna put the bread in now. Can I get, let's do 8, could you time me again, sir, for 8 minutes, and then we'll check the bread. So we want them lightly toasted so that we can have a good surface to scrape the garlic. Does anyone else want to help? Because when these come out, we're gonna do the garlic scrape. You guys want to come up? Anyone? Come on. You want to come up? Okay. You guys want to come up? Why not? That's okay. That's okay. So one of the things that I love to do with this garlic, this one is from Hy-Vee, but you can get these at Sam's and Costco. Also have these bags of pre-shucked garlic, which I love because one, the pre-shucked, also gross. The pre-shucked takes half the work out of using the garlic in the first place. But taking it to the next level, what I love to do is I take this whole bag, and hopefully you have, we're not going to do this today, but a little Cuisinart. And if you don't have a little Cuisinart, you should have a little Cuisinart. This is one of my best appliances, whether I'm making dough, like pizza dough or pasta, or for these. So what I do is I shove all that garlic in there, and it isn't pureeing it, but it's dicing everything for me. And then I put it in a bell jar, freezer-safe bell jar, fill it with the olive oil, and then it'll keep in the fridge for 3-4 weeks. It'll keep in the freezer 3-4 months, and then you have fresh cut garlic without, because when you buy the jars of the garlic in the store, there's an acid, there's a bunch of crap in there, and it really changes the flavor of the garlic. So to do this, you add the olive oil, just enough to coat it all to the top, and it is a wonderful, even if you're making a stir fry, it's a wonderful cheat to just grab your garlic, right? And so that's a good tip. Next thing we're gonna do with this is use the olive oil, and we're gonna put some olive oil on these oranges. How are you guys doing? Good. So again, kind of odd, olive oil on the oranges, but wait till you taste. It's such a surprising salad, and it's just delicious. Okay. Oh, you know what? I don't think they have one, so we have to put it in the garbage.
Oh,
I was gonna try to.
here's one with the onions.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think you guys are probably good. If you wanna be done. Do you want to stay up and help with the toast?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just put these over here. So if you take the basil plants home, you want to plant. You can plant them in a pot, but you want a pot that is at least twice the size of this pot because they like a lot of room. They don't like to be squishy. They will not stay alive in these pots. So you definitely need to repot it. Of course, they would prefer to be in the ground. So if you have a sunny place in your yard, they would love to be in the ground. That's awesome. Look at all this. Yum. Beautiful. Good job, guys. Good job, Jeremy. Okay, so we're going to set these aside, and we will, you want to be in charge of the onions now? We need to just keep stirring them so that they...
What's the time limit on how long you should marinate it for?
You want at least 20 minutes, 30 is better because it just continues to soften them up. I've tried to do that the day before, but then they get really pickled because they continue to ferment. So I don't like to do it the day before. Like both of these appetizers, I was trying to think about that. There's not really, these are easy appetizers, so hopefully they're, good for you guys to replicate, but not a lot of prep cooking ahead of time in terms of like the day before. Where a lot of my appetizers, or any of my dishes, I try to give you tips to say, hey, you could do this yesterday, right? To save time if you're having people over or whatever. But these two are kind of, you got to do these the day of.
You could slice the onions ahead of time.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes.
Yes. And really, you could
Slice the oranges.
take the peels off and slice the oranges, but I wouldn't assemble anything until the day of. Awesome. Okay, so how much time on the toast, sir?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna peek. Yeah, they need more time. Okay. Nana's washing? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Nana. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Nana broke the door.
Oh, goodness. Okay, we'll just let them know about that.
Yeah,
You stronger than she realizes.
Oh, goodness.
You got one job.
So are there any dietary restrictions with how we're assembling this? We've got the bread, we've got garlic, goat cheese, the basil, then we're gonna put the tomatoes, we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of sea salt, and a spray of balsamic vinegar. So that's the baked caprese. And then the salad, got the orange, the olive oil, the onions, and basil. So what we're gonna do is give everyone a taste of both, so everyone's gonna get to eat. If you have a dietary restriction, you're welcome to come up and make your own plate if you don't want a certain ingredient, so feel free to do that. But we can plate these for you to serve. Okay, and then we have these little forks. Okay. And then we've got our goat cheese. We'll open these. Why don't we open these? And we'll just spread those after we get the garlic done. But right now we're waiting for the toast. So just a couple more minutes on toast.
Now, is there a reason you chose the goat cheese instead of the mozzarella?
Excellent question. I love mozzarella, but a lot of the mozzarella's at the store, they don't have a lot of flavor. Like if it's not good mozzarella or if it's not homemade mozzarella, I think it's just kind of
Just bland.
yeah, and I just don't love it. I love the goat cheese. A good option is burrata, but burrata is more expensive. But it's like basically a flavorful mozzarella is how I would describe it. So that's delicious, but more expensive. So the goat cheese is just a wonderful flavor that also kind of makes this my own version of a caprese instead of the mozzarella. The other factor with this is that it's made from the goat milk, the goat cheese. So whereas the mozzarella is from a cow. So if you have a little bit of a dairy, I'm not a doctor, but if you have a little bit of a dairy intolerance, this is actually easier on your digestion. So in any of your, cooking, gearing towards that, the goat cheese versus a cow's milk cheese is it's just easier to digest. But this is delicious. I love goat cheese. So
It is, and you can do so many things with
Can you
goat
get that
cheese.
burrata mozzarella here?
So many different-
you can get the burrata maybe.
You can.
Time? Thank you.
Yeah, we've made so many different recipes with goat cheese. You can put them in things, melt them, put sauces over them. There's lots of different ways you can
But I
use
can't
goat
get my
cheese.
husband. And then there's another,
Those onions are getting
raisins.
Pretty fermented.
they need to prevent, and you know, I thought it was going to be so horrible. When we first put this together, it's like, really?
I'm just switching platters here so we aren't on this hot platter.
Are we done?
So we're done with the oven, so we're gonna turn that off here. And well, the tomatoes are still hot, so I want to leave those over here for a minute too. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we need to open these. Let's see. There's the scissors.
That's okay. I got it.
Or maybe one of those little knives.
It has.
Oh, did it have to be? Okay.
Is this everything?
She said it has to be.
Yeah, it has a little sharp spot on it.
It's short down on the side.
Where? I mean, no.
No, I'm not finding it either. Where'd you find it?
Yeah, I know.
I always use the scissors. Oh, there it is. Yep, there it
Don't
is.
I'll
use
take
them all
it.
at the
Do you
same
want all of
time.
them open? How many do you want open?
We'll start with 3 because that theoretically should be enough, and we can open more if we want. But once you open these, you really need to use these within a few days because then they kind of go icky. So we're gonna take the whole. No. I don't need to.
I also,
Oh, well, you can. I don't think you need to though.
because I like using it, so.
You think it's more flavorful if you cut it?
That's not a suggestion, but.
Okay, let's do it. Nana's the boss.
To cut it and
Cut
then.
it in half.
Cut it in half and then use the
Yeah.
inside.
Well, you
I
can
would think
smell
so,
it
too.
without
Well, I
even
know.
like it's
Yeah,
garlic.
but I
without
think if
even-
you cut it and then smell it, you're gonna, it's gonna
more.
be different, yeah, it's gonna be
Alright,
more
let's do
flavorful.
Do it.
Not
She
only,
corrects me all the time. It's awesome.
I try not to do it when she's on camera because I feel bad. It's It's all in the family.
It's Mother's Day.
And it is Mother's Day.
Mother knows best. Okay, so we're cutting it, and then we're gonna literally just gently, because you don't want to rip the bread, literally just scrape all around this. Just, once or twice on the surface area, but this is gonna give like a super, super amazing flavor to this. So once you have that, let's get it, let's get.
Would someone else like to come up? Would you like to come up and try to do this? Since you have
Yeah, come on and help.
Anyone else with an apron that would like
So
to
come this way,
Okay.
with the ones that you have scraped.
Okay.
And then I'm going to
Okay. So
finish the
here-
salad, and then we'll get you guys eating.
Okay, just need to cut.
You've
and then
been,
you just grab
you've
the
been
end,
stirring that whole time.
and you're gonna be.
Fabulous. Okay, so we've got our plate of oranges. We've put some sea salt on here. We've put some olive oil on here. We're gonna take,
Finished.
without trying to get a bunch of the
And then when you get
liquid,
down and you can't hold it any longer.
and I'm gonna spread these.
Yeah.
And we're probably actually not gonna use all these. This is actually probably more than we wanted. But this will be a delicious salad, today, tomorrow for leftovers. Probably not too much more than tomorrow, but. So I'm just kind of spreading these out. No magic to this,
It
just
works
to make
better if
them
you.
look nice and colorful.
Oh, would you like to do this too? Scrape it? All right, you scrape it. Here, why don't you come where I am. And you just leave it on the cookie sheet and go back and forth. You don't put it up real hard. And then you put that, and when it gets too small, you can grab another.
So if anyone wants some pickled red
yeah,
onions,
you can
take home, we've got
use
some extra.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I need something more for an appetizer today
Would you
for
like an apron?
dinner.
Mom, you wanna put an egg
And-
on?
And my son, he's actually,
There is
he's a
one more
sous chef,
apron
and
if
he's
you like.
becoming a sous chef.
Oh, cool.
And he does pickled onions all the time.
Oh, okay.
So I'm wondering if he does it, I don't know how he does it, but the
Yeah.
pepper
Mhm.
was very, when we stirred that up, it's like, oh my gosh, that
It's
is,
nice.
yeah.
Have we scraped enough if it seems like you scraped?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Just like twice on the surface area. That's it. Yeah, it's quick. So when I make like official pickled red onions, like you cook the roux. At least that's what my mother-in-law does. She heats up the whatever she puts in it and the spices and whatever. This is like a quickie way to make the pickled onions. So this is kind of the little cheat sheet. Yeah. But these are, I eat these like all by themselves because I love them. But they're really great like on an Italian beef sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of the giardiniera, put those on there. It's so
Oh.
good. Or both. Put giardiniera and the pickle. They're amazing. Okay, then we're gonna take the basil. And I do want to be relatively generous with this because I want once you get your orange slice, I want each orange slice to have at least one julienne of the basil.
You just have to ask people afterwards, do I have basil in my tea?
Yeah. So here is our beautiful salad. Oh, not pretty.
Delicious.
It's just pretty too, right?
It is gorgeous. The orange, the red, the green,
Yeah.
pretty.
Okay, so I'm gonna start plating these and then we will, we'll add the capreses once we get that going. Absolutely.
You know, you probably use an onion, right? There.
Oh, thank you. Let me grab a
I'll
napkin.
give it to you.
I have a napkin, Mom. Oh, thank you.
We have one more tray, ladies.
Well, and really what our goal is to give everyone 2 bites of the caprese. So if we have a nice full tray, you don't have to do all of them. Although then you guys can take little bites home too. of the Caprese.
I'll never make them.
Yeah.
No, we can do the other one, if everybody gets.
Okay, okay. That's so warm. Let me just come around. Can I give you guys some more? All right.
Still have time. Is this?
Oh, that's still hot.
What are you gonna do?
We're gonna.
I just wanted to know.
We don't need another tray for those, because we're gonna assemble right there, yeah, it's fine.
But I need something else.
Well, what I'm gonna do is, I was gonna do this at the same time, but I'm gonna just give you guys the salads now because they're done. And then we'll do the caprese. Buon appetito. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so after, actually, do you wanna shift to that? And come around? Yeah, so we're gonna take, okay. So next, after they've scraped the garlic on there, we're gonna take the goat cheese and just smear it on top of there. Then we'll take the basil, so maybe a couple sprigs, and you'll kind of need to push it a little bit into the goat cheese so that it doesn't fall off. And then you'll wait because then we need to drizzle and stuff, and then the tomatoes at the end. Yep. Aren't those cute?
I know, I was like, okay, I'm not quite sure how to use that, so.
You might need to break the orange part a little bit. But they're little compostable forks, so I thought they were cute.
You have to be really good.
Yeah, make a little more. Yep.
And I'll pass out that.
Oh, more. Little. Because it tastes so good. Don't skimp on it. How you guys doing? How you doing, Johnny?
Scraping away by the million.
Scraping away.
So
Is it too hard to eat with these little things?
I think.
I'm just picking it up and eating it.
Okay, we have forks. I think they have, they have like regular forks. Did everyone get napkins so far? Yes.
So far, this is good. You've got forks in the front row.
I got forks to the front row.
Okay, so I'll get some more.
Your car.
Yeah, car. That would be good. When Sam's has those, I get a couple bags every time I go out. They're just so much better than they want, much as I think.
Have you tried
What do you guys think?
mandarins? Great.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah. It's good.
So half of my family would eat something like this though. You know, the grandkids would
Mom, did you find a couple more forks?
Say what? Yeah. Although, there's a rule in my house, you have to take a bite.
So these are two, the back row, or the two gals in the middle there.
Okay.
What do you think? I'm not sure, it might be too mature for their taste buds.
They're not sure?
Yeah, that might be a little too mature for theirs. Like the one.
But good thumbs up for trying it, right?
One more for the back row.
Okay. And then you please.
It's very refreshing, it's a nice.
Yeah.
This would be a fantastic summer one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will come behind you and
It looks better.
so we're gonna do these.
Yeah. Because they just have a little bit of a bite. Yeah. Instead of being sweet.
So what I'm gonna do is take our little baguettes. Excuse me. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil. This fresh olive oil on top of whatever you've baked always just makes it delicious, and you can taste that fresh pop. Then just one little shake of fresh salt. Same thing, it's like not baked into the whatever you just made, so that's a nice little pop. And then, so balsamic vinegar is another thing where you don't want to buy crappy balsamic vinegar. So, you know, the of Modena, if it says of Modena, you definitely want that because that's the general region where the best stuff comes from. It's like, it's a grape, right? So they, wherever they're making vinegars, instead of making wine, they're making the vinegar. So it's literally like this huge vineyard of grapes, but they're just not making wine. So just like you're selective with what you're drinking for the wine, you want this to be really good. It should be really dark. It should not be as thin as water. The good stuff ages in barrels, just like a wine does. Yeah. So this brand is at Hy-Vee, I don't even know how to say it, Gustari, whatever.
Oh, okay.
You've seen this.
Yeah.
I like this one, and this is a good local one. I bought it in a spray bottle specific for this appetizer because we want to just drizzle a little bit
So it comes with a spray?
Mhm.
Well, that's cool.
on top of the appetizer. So it's just easy for this, but obviously you don't need that normally. Okay, so we did the olive oil, the sea salt, the balsamic, and then we're gonna put some of the basil on there. And then our tomatoes. So we've got our beautiful pruny tomatoes. I'm gonna put 2 of these on each so that you get one in each bite. Thinking these are gonna make 2 bites of the baguette. And there is your baked caprese.
Nice.
Wow. Very good, sir.
Thank you.
So Mom, I'm gonna start assembling these. And then when I get a few, we can keep this assembly line going.
Why don't you take them off of that tray?
I mean, we're at the end, right? We're eating now, so I mean, I'm fine. Yeah, it's fine.
And the cooks eat at the end, unfortunately.
And the girls will like to pass out.
Sure. If they want.
Good practice for your summer job, serving and waitressing.
There you go. And it's always much more fun if you have somebody to cook with.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why Kelly started this whole thing, because in our family, we have a tradition that on New Year's Eve, or Christmas Eve day, we get all of the kids together and we make homemade raviolis.
Oh, nice.
So we have an assembly line and we have the crank machine and somebody mixes the pasta, mixes the dough, and we go through the machine. Someone stuffs, someone cuts, someone forks, and so it's a whole process. And all the kids, no matter what age they are, we can always find something for them to do.
Nice.
And they may not last a real long time. The last time I made them for Thanksgiving because I was in Portland at Kelly's brother's house. And they have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. Well, the 3-year-old was napping, so the 5-year-old was helping me to make the raviolis. And she was forking, but you have to push down on the fork to close all the edges. So after she was doing that and she was watching me turn them over, she was like, Nana, can I fold? She was tired of pushing the fork down, but she was fine with the other part. But she didn't last a real long time.
But it gets you started in the kitchen.
Yeah, but usually we have several grandchildren together. We always do that for Christmas Eve when we're together. But, so we're always cooking, and we both love to cook. My mother loves to cook, and when we get together for family reunions, we cook together. So it's just been part of our life. And Kelly wanted to share that with other people and her love for cooking and love for Italian food.
That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah, you can enjoy your salad.
So,
Oh,
okay.
That is what it's all about. I mean, that's part of my mission statement is whether it's family or it's friends that are either local or across the country that you don't see, it's bringing people together, and I do it through food. So,
And I have a good friend who is from Pella, Iowa, so obviously not Italian. But she wanted to she has 5 daughters, and she wanted to give them something unique for Christmas. So she contacted Kelly, and through, I don't know if you did Zoom or whatever media she used, but the 5 girls are spread all over the country. And Chris is here, who is in Des Moines with myself. They all got online together and they did interactive cooking. And sometimes somebody would be behind and they'd say, wait a minute, hold up, wait for me.
redo.
Or redo, could you redo that? Could you show me how to do that again? So it's very nice that way, because if you don't get something, if you're a little behind, Kelly can stop doing what she's doing and redo that portion again for who's ever having difficulty. And she does the same thing. She sends out the grocery list.
Thank you.
She tells you all the pots and pans you'll need, so you can have everything there once the video starts, and then you have a lovely dinner afterwards, because the person who buys whatever course it happens to be, they can choose what they would like to eat. And if they want all appetizers, if they want a main dish. Again, not a whole lot of desserts. I do have some that are there
delicious.
are some really good desserts, but it's not something that we do all the time.
And I would say if you're, wondering, well, what makes this different than, watching TV? As you noticed before you got here, I didn't prep anything. And when I do your dinner party, I don't prep anything, because the whole point is I want to be different than TV. I don't want you to be just like tuning in on TV and they go, poof, here's your stuff, and you don't even know what they did, right? So that is definitely part of my premise is I, give you the cooking guide, I give you all this information ahead of time so that if you're virtual, you've got all your pots and pans set up. And when I start, you start. I'm not ahead of you. So that is important to me, because I want it to always be interactive. I want you to know what we're doing, I want you to learn, and I want you to love it. So doing it together is really the most important part, right?
And it's nice to have that interchange, because in one of her first classes, it was one of the first ones, we were making marinara, something Italian, and she said, oh, well, you just take a little of this and throw it in seasonings. And someone said, wait, I don't know what a little of this is.
Right.
What do you mean? And so we had to transform a lot of our recipes, because we're used to just doing that.
Yeah.
And we had to do it in measurement so that people who don't know that
And write them down.
can write
A
them
lot of these weren't even
down
written
so
down.
that people will be
Yeah.
able to put the right
Go sit.
amounts in.
Go sit.
And then, of course, you can vary it, but
Yeah.
it kind of was an eye-opener when we did that. And when someone said, wait a minute, I don't know what that means, how much that is. And sometimes she'll put a little more in, other times not quite as much.
But that's what makes the interactive part, I think, the most fun, because you're asking questions live, or even if I do, so all my contact information is in these packets I've got in my Facebook and my YouTube, where I do a lot of these live ones for free. And but they're all, as you know, my mom's here tonight, but a lot of times I have at least 2 or 3 friends in the background as my pit crew that are monitoring the chat. So if you are doing, if you're doing one of those sessions that's just kind of a webinar mode, you can ask questions real time in the chat also. Yeah, there was one episode, or no, it was one of the dinner parties. Oh my gosh. We were making a chocolate torte, and yeah, you've got different levels of what people know how to do, right? So we ended up having to, I think we were meringuing the egg whites. We had to do them like 5 times because I had 6 people. They're all virtual. And one of the gals, she put the egg yolks in there. The other gal's like, I don't even know what you're doing. There's bowls of eggs. Like, I don't know what you're doing. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we literally had to meringue these eggs 5 times and like redo it, get new eggs, because people are, and they're at different paces, right? Yeah. So, you know, it's that I'm just kind of, I'm trying to facilitate, keep everyone moving so that we all have dinner at the end. Yeah, so it's
in the case
fun.
of these 5 sisters,
fun.
one of the sisters never cooks.
Oh,
And a couple of the other ones love to be in the kitchen. So it was a difficult thing to balance. So you have to be aware of all
No,
that.
but that's what I'm for. That's what I'm doing.
Right,
That's what I love to do, yeah.
So how many more of these a week?
The orange and onion, what do you call it again?
Yeah, orange salad with the pickled red onions.
Yeah.
Basil.
It's really
Yep.
good.
Thank you. I love it.
I was so hesitant when I first went to
I
taste
know.
it. It's great. I love it. I have made it before.
It sounds weird. So if you have any questions that you think of, oops, I forgot the basil again, after class, or if you have any suggestions or requests on what you guys want to make as we get into future sessions. So these will do basil. Those need the other toppings. Send me an email or a note on my website with questions or requests. So.
Is there a good wine or something that would pair good with these?
Absolutely. For a white, I would say like a Pinot Grigio, or I don't know if you've heard of a Vermentino, which is similar to like a Sauv Blanc or a the Vermentino. It's really nice. It's crisp. Yeah. Sometimes Pinot Grigio can be on the sweeter side. It kind of depends.
How do you spell that Vermentino?
V-E-R-M-E-N. Vermentino. Yeah, V-E-R-M-E-N.
Does that have an Italian drink?
And then oil. Just drizzle. No, just drizzle. It's fine. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And then just 1 shake of this, the salt, because these are kind of big, coarse salts, and then a spray or 2 of vinegar, then to the basil. Okay, guys, we have lots of food up here. Who wants more? Did you not get one? Oh, crap. I'm sorry. I'm coming. Did everyone got the salad, right? Oh, you didn't get one? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try. Here we go. So you got one. Okay. Did I work from you guys now?
I gotta get crazy.
Caprese? Okay, crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the definition then of a baked caprese then,
Well, this is my definition of a baked caprese. I made this up.
Because you're baking the tomatoes.
Because I'm baking the tomatoes, and so that goes to Laura. And I didn't use pesto. I used just the basil leaf. So normally on a caprese, you would have, the mozzarella, the pesto, and the tomato. And usually the tomato's raw. So I'm just kind of mixing it up. I've never tried that. I don't know. Probably because you're just.
Yeah, if you don't have
baking
a
it.
lot to do, probably. I mean, if you have as much as we did.
Well, no. He asked if he could do the air fryer.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you're not gonna put this in the air fryer.
No, but the tomatoes.
Yeah, I know, but.
Yeah.
If you
A
had a
small,
great
you have to have a small,
You
because
need a
they're
small
small.
amount, is what I'm saying. yeah.
Right.
Is the spicy kick from the garlic in here?
Isn't it good?
It'll tingle it to that.
It does.
It's
It kind of
awesome.
smacks you, but it's.
Yeah.
I like, I've never
Good.
tried doing that before, that's awesome.
I do that with the bread pretty much on any caprese recipe that I do, just because it does add that punch. I just love it.
And actually, my mother does that every time she makes a salad. In the salad bowls, you wrote the whole salad bowl.
Oh, that's right.
Down with garlic, okay.
Okay. Oh, you haven't had any. I'm sorry.
This is not.
Here, this is- There you go. You got the salad. Okay. Everyone has but one of each. Okay. Who wants more? Who wants more caprese?
Got a couple more left.
Or salad? There's both. Jeremy, you want another one?
I would, but I still have most of the work done. It's very delicious.
Okay, I'm gonna make a few more plates. Raise your hand or holler, or feel free to come up and get it. Oh, you have those right here. Well, thank you so much for coming. Happy Mother's Day. Jean's Italian Kitchen, please go on to our Facebook. I'm really trying to grow the YouTube because that's where I want the videos to land. So please check that out. Subscribe. I also have a podcast, so you can check that out if you want to listen while you're walking, and spread the word that we're here and that I'm here to help grow. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. And yeah, basil plants, please help yourself to a basil plant if you would like to take one with you.
Yeah. Have a good day, everybody. One of these colors.
That bread was delicious, Calvin.
Thank you.
I don't eat it often enough.
Come up and help yourself. You can take a plate to go. There's clean plates up here. Because there's a lot of food left. Yes, and I'll take your aprons. But please come help yourself with more food. Take it home or eat it, whatever.
Thank you so much.
And take your packets.